What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Back with another live stream today. Today, people, Arsenal therapy again. Well, the morning, the afternoon after the night before, you just can't believe the way this team turned up for their biggest game of the whole season and put in that kind of performance, man. I feel like a fan of history now. I have to enjoy Arsenal, I have to watch Arsenal from 15 years ago with these men behind me were playing, This Arsenal right now, I don't even know what it is. I really don't. 3 therapies in a row, we're turning into a counselling channel. we're having to get our way through watching Arsenal in a season. It's madness, people. Big up everyone in the comments. Thank you very much for tuning in. Loads of you waiting, man. I appreciate it. Waiting for my Friday therapy. That performance was mad. Big up DG, man. Dr. Curtis better help the man them today, bro. I try my best. There's only so much I can do, man. Oh, man, this manager. The tactics yesterday were something else. The more I thought about them, the worse they are, when I think about it. Arsenal could turn it around in the second leg. I mean, let's hope so. But that was bad. That was seriously bad. Consistently inconsistent. That's Arsenal, man. Consistently inconsistent. You never know what you're going to get. And for me, Mikel Arteta needs to take a long, hard look at himself. You are not Pep Guardiola, my friend. Yeah? The only thing you got better than Pep is better hair. You got more hair than him. That's it. You ain't Pep. You can stand next to Pep for 4 years all you like. You have not morphed into Pep. You put cones out for Pep. You fill up water bottles for Aguero and Sterling. You ain't Pep. And he needs to realise that. This guy, man. This guy. Unbelievable. Big up Yasmin. Big up to you, Curtis, new subscriber. Thank you very much for joining the community. Arteta needs some therapy himself. Mikel needs to tune into this. I'll talk him through it because I don't know what the guy's doing. Lego hairstyle business, bro. I don't understand. Oh, dear. Fake Pep, I'm telling you, man. Listen, unfortunately, we're going to review the game. Man said the Spanish Steve McLaren. That might be an insult on Steve McLaren. Oh, dear me. This guy, man. This guy. The water boy, man. That man fills up a hell of a bottle and he knows where to put them cones. But apart from that, the man shouldn't have come anywhere near this football club as a manager. Jazz says, big up, Curtis. Your live stream yesterday was fantastic. Tuned in from Nairobi. Big up, Jazz from Kenya. Curtis, bring on Kev. Kev's on next week, I think. He was busy today, unfortunately, so I couldn't get him on. But I think he's hiding. He knew he was going to get some slander from me today. Big up, Francis, with a super chat. I honestly apologize to you, Curtis, and all fans for supporting Arteta. Yesterday was awful. A European semi-final. Are you mad? Much love. Listen, Francis, you don't need to apologize, man. It's not about I told you so. There's nothing wrong with a fan being a big fan of the manager. There's nothing wrong with that. All I ever say to people, whether you think this guy's the right manager or not, make sure you're open-minded to the situation. I felt it got to the point where certain people knew that Arteta was failing, but because it was going to make them look wrong because they'd committed to him so much, they wouldn't admit that he was struggling. But I think people are starting to see now, man, this guy isn't good enough. He's got 7 days. Craig David, man, remember that day? It's Monday. Took her for a drink on Tuesday. We better not be singing, we're at the Europa League by Thursday. I don't want to see that, No Craig David business. This guy better rescue the season next Thursday. Pick the right team. What's wrong with him? No, that said, Mr. Behave. Trust the process, FC. Kroenke out, Arteta out. Pathetic. But it's the players. Yeah, listen, Kev, man. Oh, the press conference. We're going to talk about that. More arrogance from Arteta, man. Just, I don't know where this guy gets his confidence from. I think he knows that his job is so secure. He's just not worried about anything. He thinks, I can say whatever I want. I'm not getting sacked. I ain't going nowhere. I've prepared a team that I think he should pick next week. This team, for me, makes the Europa League final, right? This team makes the Europa League final. This is assuming that Kieran Tierney is fit. Guys, I want to know your thoughts. Mikel Arteta, if you're watching, just pick this team and we make the final. We book a flight to Poland. For me, I would change the whole back four that got picked yesterday. Xhaka at left back doesn't work. I thought the two centre backs were horrendous yesterday. I thought they were so bad. Pablo Mari was shocking. Holding as captain. Rob Holding as Arsenal captain. I mean, what has happened to this football club? You know, it used to be this man here, Patrick Vieira. Now we've got Bobby Bolden as skipper. I would change the whole back four. Cedric, right, was poor against Slavia Prague at home, and he was pretty poor against Villa away. Apart from that, he's been pretty solid. So all of a sudden, I don't know why Callum Chambers is the right back. If Tierney's available, play Tierney, Gabriel and Luiz, which I think has been our best partnership. Get Cedric back in at right back. You've got to put Granit Xhaka at centre back, at centre mid, next to Thomas Partey. That's the only pivot that even half works at Arsenal. And even that's not good enough. You know, even that needs upgrading in the summer. But that's the only one that we can get anything out of. I said, yo, we put Aubameyang as goalkeeper. It wouldn't surprise you, man. False goalkeeper. Some would say, forget false nine. We've got a false manager in charge. You know what I mean? Smith Rowe in the 10. For me, Martin Odegaard yesterday didn't look fit. You know, he's been out for weeks. He came straight back in. He was way off the pace and didn't perform. Saka and Pepe out wide, which is harsh on Martinelli, but Saka, even though he wasn't at his best, he won the penalty. He got the player sent off. Pepe, I thought, was our best attacker and scored the penalty. Some people here, who was it, said I would change Aubameyang for Lacazette, but the fact Lacazette wasn't even on the bench, I think that tells you that he's not fully fit, nowhere near fully fit. The Copa said Martinelli up front. Apart from that, I agree. The reality is, biggest game of the season. If Aubameyang's fit, they're going to play him. They're going to play him because we're still not totally sure about Martinelli up front, even though I would have played him up front yesterday. Big up John Layup with a super chat. Thank you very much, bro. Said, Ceballos isn't better than Danielson. And I have to say, I agree with that. And I couldn't stand Danielson when we had him. And I see you've got him as your display picture as well. I blame Arteta. How can he not substitute Ceballos? Also, I believe the comment Ceballos said about La Liga, he really meant it. He's the Spanish John Tigana. That might be a disrespect on John Tigana, man. I'm telling you, the former Fulham manager. I said, email this team to Arteta, Curtis. How can he not see this? This team has just got balance. It's got everything we need. It's got pace out wide. It's got a fairly decent midfield pivot. It's got a centre-back partnership that's probably worked better than any other. You've got two natural fullbacks, left footer, right footer. Leno was decent yesterday. I give him credit. That team, in my opinion, gets us to the final. Now, having watched Man United score 6 past Roma, getting to the final might not mean anything for this Arsenal team, but think about the team that he picked yesterday compared to this. That team he picked yesterday, for me, is a sackable offence by itself. It was absolutely horrendous. It was embarrassing, the team that he picked. I just don't understand it. Arteta's been looking after Martinelli, preparing him in training, showing him how to cut up the oranges. Like all season, everyone's like, yeah, maybe he's saving him for Thursday. And then Thursday comes and he don't play. I don't know what the guy's problem is with Gabriel Martinelli. I really don't. He doesn't like him. Francis said, Kroenke is horrible, but this team is better than 10th, bro. I will never buy any merchandise and will spend all that money on your channel. Arteta out. Hey, big up, Francis. Thank you very much. I have to admit myself, you know, this season, I'm disappointed that I bought all 3 kits. I really am. I think the FA Cup, signing Thomas Partey, I thought there was progress there. I went out, I bought kits. The 424 hoodie got the better of me, man. But listen, unless we win the Europa League or Kroenke sells the club, I'm not buying any merch. I'm not buying any merch. You can quote me on this. I will only buy merch if we win the Europa League or Kroenke sells the club. Until then, none of it. None of it. You'll see me in old kits. When I get my old kits back, that's what you're going to see me in. I'm done. I'm done. Bro, the 424 hoodie got the better of me. I'm not going to lie, but I'm done with it now, man. These lot aren't getting a penny off me. I'm almost like, I'm in two minds even with the season ticket. I've got to be honest. I'm looking at it like, is this team worth having another season ticket? If we're not in Europe next year and this manager is still in charge and this owner is in charge, I've got to consider it. I've got to consider it, whether it's worth the time and money, man. I'd rather sit here and do watch-alongs than spend my time and money watching that nonsense. Yesterday was an embarrassment. 19-year-old carrying you guys. You're telling no lies, man. You're telling no lies. Saka, and people were criticizing Saka's performance yesterday, but he's been overplayed. There's been so many games you could have rested Saka, but they've just played him, and he gets injured, and then he goes and plays for England. And listen, as much as Saka wasn't at his best yesterday, he wins the penalty that, by the way, for me, never in a million years is that a penalty, but we're shameless and we were desperate, so we have to take it. All right. And he gets Etienne Capoue sent off. So he still had two of the biggest moments in the game. So I'm still going to give him his due. Big up Gunner Girl. It was pretty beautiful though, Curtis. We'll let you off. Yeah, you're right, man. The black and red hoodie with a 424. They done me. They knew what they were doing, man. I couldn't resist it. But no, I'm done now. I'm out of that spell. I don't care what training kit comes out. I don't care how it looks. I'm not going to lie. If we win the Europa League, they might get me again, but if Stansels win the Europa League, that's the only way. Anything else, I ain't buying nothing. Now, my old kits are at my mum's house, so when I get them, I'll wear the old kits, man. I got O2 kits, I think I've still got the burgundy one. They're a little bit baggy, though. You remember the kits them days? They weren't tight-fitting, man. They're baggy-fitting kits. Curtis, it's not right pinning our hopes on Saka all the time. 100%. Why are we letting him have that much responsibility on his shoulders? Martin Keown or Martinelli via BT said, I've been concerned as to why that player is not playing because the manager doesn't like him. It's as simple as that. Big up Darren for bringing that up. Martin Keown's spot on. Listen, Arteta can say whatever he likes in press conferences about Gabriel Martinelli and this. You don't like him. There's something about his game you're not interested in, and that's why you won't play him. Infamous Mob, someone clip this. You can clip it. You will not see me in any new training kit unless we win the Europa League or Kroenke sells the football club. I'm done. If that manager is in charge and we are not in Europe next season, I will not buy any of them kits. I'm done with all of it. I'm done with all of it. I've had enough. I've had enough. Big up Ron Wover's vlogs. Big up Curtis smashing the content. Thank you very much. You lot are on to me, man. Man said, what do you say? Can we have that in writing? Listen, man, I'm resisting all temptation, man. I'm not buying none of it. They'll bring out some new kits as well, but that look good, but I'll avoid it. Let's have a look at what he said. Sign the contract. Let's have a look at the press conference because I was listening to it and all I hear is arrogance from this guy when he talks. Arteta on the defeat, the tactics, and the away goal. I mean, just look at this coaching staff behind him. Have you ever seen these three guys stand up? I mean, Mr. Earpod, he stands up after about 70 minutes. I don't know who this guy is in the background. I'm assuming he's the doctor with his blue gloves on. This guy sitting down never says anything. And the guy with the earpods, I think he must sit there, listen to a whole album of his favourite music. And then when the album finishes, he must stand up and go, right, Mikel, what's going on, mate? I've just listened to some music and, I'm done now. He's actually on his phone. He's actually looking at his phone. I think he's watching this channel. He's watching the watch-along and listening on his earphone. What's he doing? We're on the pitch. This guy's all over the place, Arteta. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, this guy's on audiobook listening to a book. He's that bored of Arteta. He's just putting books on. Yeah, he's on Spotify. Man said, listen, man, 10 more downloads and echo buyers, man. Let me keep downloading. It's ridiculous. Yeah, what game's he playing? Candy Crush? You know what I mean? DMX album? What's the guy doing? This guy can't even believe his ear. He can't. He don't even know what's going on. Arteta's just pointing for no reason. Man said, watching only fans. Oh, he said to him, right, what I want you to do, I want you to get Pep Guardiola on YouTube and tell me what he would do. You know what I mean? I just don't know what's going on. Our assistant's on the phone with AirPods in. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you. Yeah, this is the coach that said, yeah, Renarson's not bad, mate. Let's bring him in. Crazy, bro. He might as well listen to DMX. It would bring him more inspiration than watching this nonsense. Let's get in some of the quotes from this absolute fake Pep Guardiola who seems to think, he's a master tactician. Man's on the phone. I actually can't believe it. Mikel Arteta admitted he was relieved that the tie is still alive. Yeah, you should be, mate. You should be. On whether it was a gamble to play without a striker, it's the way we prepared for the game. It's the decision I made thinking that it was the best way to play. I mean, why, mate? You didn't even try it against Everton and practice it. The game was conditioned after 4 minutes, so it was difficult to assess whether it would work or not. Conceding from a set piece as well also changed it. We had to approach different. Embarrassing. You left him up front for so long. So if you clearly could see after 4 minutes it wasn't working, why didn't you change it at half time? It's embarrassing. Boris Arteta is bang on. He is the Boris Johnson of press conferences, I'm telling you, man, he's doing something. How to play false nine on Google. Embarrassing. So you're admitting it wasn't working, but you stuck with it. How does that make sense? I'm baffled already, people. On whether he has spoken to Dani Ceballos and his own opinion on the red card. He said, I haven't seen the action again. We talked at half-time to say that we had to be very careful. There was a tackle very early. I was going to take him off, but by time that Gabby was ready to come on, that action happened and he was out. Oh, my days. Like, this guy, please. So, the first half wasn't enough for you to look at Dani Ceballos and think, let's get him off now. You had to wait because he should have been sent off 7 minutes earlier when he clipped the guy, and for some reason the ref let us off. And then you had like 7, 8, 9 minutes to get him off, and you're taking too long. It took you, 10, 15 minutes to get Martinelli ready. It should have took 3 or 4 minutes. Quick jog, stretch, and you're on, mate. Get this clown off the pitch. But no. Frank said, Arteta is Pep if you ordered him from Wish. Best line from last night, still laughing. Big up Curtis. Frank, no lies being told, man. You're going to open the box like, yo, I've got Pep Guardiola. And you're going to be like, what the hell is this? Do you know what I'm saying? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's look at the rest of the quotes. He was asked on whether he got his team selection wrong. He said, obviously, when you lose, you always get it wrong. I mean, you've got it wrong a lot. And do you know what? This comment is the one for me, right? This is the one. This is like the mic drop for me. The arrogance in this comment is unbelievable. He was asked on whether a semi-final is the time to experiment. Finally, they're asking him harsh questions. His response, guys, when we won 4-0 away from home against Slavia Prague, they didn't lose a game in 3 years, and Granit played so well. He was incredible playing there, but I know that when it doesn't happen, it's always going to point there. I mean, listen, I am done with this guy, seriously. If that's not Boris Johnson, I don't know what is. That is unbelievable. Like, the arrogance is beyond belief. The question I would have asked this guy, first of all, Mikel, what has Slavia Prague got to do with Villarreal? They are not the same team. They have not got the same players in the same position. So the guy playing right wing for Slavia Prague is probably not as good as the guy playing right wing for Villarreal, Mr. Arteta. So Granit Xhaka having a great game against Slavia Prague has got nothing to do with this. You're supposedly an intelligent man, a top quality coach. You've worked with Pep for 4 years, and that is the kind of answer you're giving. Mikel Arteta is one of them guys. I'll tell you what type of guy he is. We all know them people. There's them people you grew up with in school who they were getting A's and A stars in school. They had that kind of classroom intelligence, but out in the street, they had no common sense. Them man couldn't even survive outside. They had no common sense. That's what this guy is. He's probably mad intelligent. I bet he's got BA stars in his GCSEs. But the man's got no common sense. Absolute nonsense. That's the worst comment of the whole press conference. That's beyond delusional. Man's talking about Slavia Prague. So what, Slavia Prague? Hey, Buenos Gouda, don't you dare say... I have never called him my manager, ever. Ever, ever. That Lego Boris Johnson. I'm telling you, man, no street smart. No street smart in this guy. The man is not street smart at all. Put Mikel in the streets, he's done, fam. But he can probably do algebra and all that. Yeah, man, he's got bare languages. He's got that classroom intelligence, man. Yeah, he just fuels up my show the day after because it's like, wow, is that what you actually believe? He's a lunatic. Ty can't get near. Ty says, we lose when it's raining, I'd rather hear that than this. The delusion is unbelievable from this guy. Where do we go from here? I mean, that's an absolute shocker of a comment. He said, on the away goal, it changes completely the tie and makes a huge difference. We know that we have to be better than we were for 95 minutes. If we don't do that, then we won't have a chance in the final. On why we stepped things up after going down to 10, he said, well, I believe at the start of the second half, it was completely different to what we'd seen in the first half. After the sending off, we knew we had to fight back or we would be completely out of the tie. So we had to fight back and we took our chances. It's a load of rubbish. It's as simple as that. It's a load of rubbish, man. Yeah, he's not comfortable. Them rappers, man, they talk about their block the whole time, but they ain't been there for years. He's one of them, man. He's one of them, man, No recognition of Chukwueze, like everyone knew that guy was dangerous last night. Everyone knew that. But you're comparing him to the guy that's just played for Slavia Prague on the right. So are you telling me now, because Granit Xhaka had a good game at left back against Slavia Prague, that what, you're going to keep playing him there? The guy, man, yeah, he's Ja Rule. Pure Ja Rule settings. Man's not comfortable in his ends, man. Ja Rule Arteta, Oh, I'm telling you, bruv. Daniel, listen, if Daniel Ek buys the football club, the first thing he needs to do is get a new manager. Get a proper manager, man. Spend your dough on a manager. Curtis, can you explain what was that? He substituted 2 players with 20 seconds to go. I mean, it was pointless, wasn't it? I mean, Willian took the corner, so I suppose if he'd have whipped it in and someone had headed it in, he would have looked like a genius. Ja Rule settings, man. Ja Rule Arteta. Look, Teta, man. Tapas Pulis. Netflix calling. Can we book you in next Thursday? Listen, it'll be a 2-hour special next Friday if all goes wrong. But Curtis, you can't see the triangles we play. Oh, dear me. Bruv, Conte, listen, I love Antonio Conte. He wouldn't come anywhere near this football club, man. He's about to win Serie A. He's got a team on the up. He's got Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez up front. Why would he come to Arsenal? He's not interested. Ten Hag signed a new contract. Got linked with Tottenham yesterday. Signs a new contract today. That's what Spurs does to you. So even Ten Hag's out the way. We're going to struggle. Rodgers would be great, but again, why would he leave Leicester to come to us? Like who, Curtis? So just throw out the work done since he's coming, including the changes behind the scenes, and start all over. We'll never get anywhere yet. Get rid of him, Fidel. I'm saying it. Yeah, you might have fixed 1 or 2 things behind the scenes. The biggest reflection of progress in a manager at a big club is what is happening on the pitch. I don't care if you got rid of a few coaches and you fixed a couple of things off the pitch. What is happening on the pitch? We're 10th. We're 10th. We're 10th in the league. We're on the verge of being knocked out of the Europa League. He hasn't done anything on the pitch. FA Cup, yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciated that. I enjoyed it. But you haven't built on it. By itself, it means nothing. We're doing more damage keeping this guy in charge than replacing him. Big up Jashar for tuning in, bro. Says big up Curtis. Over 1,000 of you in the chat. Smash a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're nearly at 25,000 subscribers, people. And listen, really appreciate the support last night, man. 1.4K likes on that video last night. Unbelievable. Thank you very much for your fantastic support. Big up John with a super chat. He said, "No, Arteta is the type of guy to beat Notts County, then we lose to Everton. He'd say Holding played like prime Maldini against Notts County." It doesn't make sense, does it, Joe? John, it really doesn't make no sense. That game's got nothing to do with this one. You're playing against totally different opposition. Vinef said, I heard a certain Arsenal fan saying that Pep should put the cones out for Arteta after last year's FA Cup semi-final. I know who you're talking about, man. That guy needs to behave himself. How about Gasparini? Listen, I'd take anyone right now over him, anyone. Mick L. Arteta. Man's taking L's galore, fam. L's all over the place. Big C Arteta has brainwashed Arsenal fans into thinking no manager can sort this team out. Serious, he has. I think people are starting to realise now. Them take your time with it days are long gone, aren't they? Although I had no part in that, by the way. Look at what Tuchel has done at Chelsea. They're dark horses to win the Champions Leagues, faves for the FA Cup and looking at top 4. I mean, listen, they've got a much better team, but it just shows what happens when you bring in a better manager. I'd take prime chunks. Yeah, my whitey ho. Wenger in. No, listen, Fox in the bin. Honestly, last night's stream, I said something I've never said. I would take Arsene Wenger over Mikel Arteta, and I cannot believe I'm saying that. Like, on a short-term basis. And that's desperation. And I listen, I'm joking, but in a sense, I actually think he's a better manager than this guy. I really do. This guy's shocking. If Daniel Ek gets the job, he's got to bring in a proper manager. Allegri, I think he would need a lot of money to fix this, man. I really do. Would you take Rafa? Curtis, your thoughts on Mourinho at TalkSport? Listen, that will be... Wherever Mourinho goes, especially as a pundit, he's great entertainment, man. He really is. 1K watching. Smash the likes and subscribe, people. Oh, man, I'm on the water today. I was on the beer. I even had vodka yesterday. That's what Arsenal done to me, man. I had no intention of drinking, and that's what they did. Big up Jeremy McCarthy. Thank you for the super chat. Big C, my first Arsenal game from Australia was when Arsenal scored an 87th minute winner v City. 9 years later, we are free-falling under him and the Kroenkes. I don't see it getting any better, Jeremy, until this guy leaves the football club, we need to get him out. Imagine Mourinho v Don Robbie. That would be absolutely amazing. Arsenal should sign Mourinho. Oh, man, don't get me started on the Mourinho stuff. I get a lot of slander for anything to do with Jose. Listen, I don't even know what manager we could go for. We're running out of options. We got to hope some become available in the summer. That's the only thing. Right, let's get into the game last night, and we'll do a quick player ratings. Again, they were so bad. I almost don't want to do it, but obviously we lost 2-1. Trigueros and Raul Albiol for them. Nicolas Pepe for us with a penalty. Ceballos and Etienne Capoue sent off. Capoue being sent off means that Francis Coquelin will probably start next week. How much you betting he turns into like prime N'Golo Kante next week playing against Arsenal? Let's look at the team. I mean, this team... what was this lunatic thinking? It's just crazy. Smith Rowe up front. Player ratings. We'll go for it quick. Get Curtis Shaw on the board when Ek buys the club. Skip the ratings. It's going to be a quick, casual one because they're all going to be pretty low. Do you know what? Leno deserves a bit of credit. He made a very good save. It could have been 3-0. We would have been out of the competition if it went 3-0. I'd probably give him... Do you know what? They're so bad, I almost don't want to do it again. I get to the point with this team, I don't even want to talk about them. They're that bad. I'll give Leno a 6. And I'd probably give Nicolas Pepe a 6. Because I think those two are the only two. Saka wasn't bad, but wasn't great. The whole back four. I almost don't even have the energy to talk about them. Even looking at their names are getting me angry. That is the worst back four I've probably ever seen at Arsenal. It's up there as one of the worst. At left back, we've got a centre midfielder. At right back, we've got a centre back. And then 2 squad fodder centre backs. I told man that Pablo Mari is squad fodder. I'm telling you, it's too slow. It's too slow. I'm sick of waking up at 4 a.m. to watch this team, bro. Just stay asleep. Just don't even bother with it. I'll give Leno, Pepe, and Saka a 6. I'll give Partey a 5. His passing was poor. He played a great ball at the end. The whole back four were rubbish. Ceballos was rubbish. Odegaard was rubbish. And Smith Rowe was rubbish. I don't even have a number for them. They were garbage. The manager was just... The manager, he only gets ratings for getting the plane and arriving at the stadium. That's it. The whole back four, give him a 2 or a 3. Ceballos, garbage. Odegaard was shocking. I mean, Danny Ceballos said in the week, I think I'm better off playing in Spain than the Premier League. And we fly to Spain, and that's the performance he puts in. Saka poor, but at least he made a couple things happen. He got us a penalty, you know, that was never a penalty in a million years. I absolutely went looking for it. They were a joke last night. So there's the player ratings. They don't even deserve the time and energy of thinking for numbers. There was an embarrassment. Partey is sponsored by Nasser. He keeps hitting balls into space. He needs to just stop shooting. The guy can't shoot. Even if you're 25 yards out, try and play a through ball. Stop shooting. I mean, eventually one of them will probably slap into the top corner, but it ain't happening anytime soon. They should have left Ceballos at the airport last night. I would have ran off. I would have got to the airport and ran off, ripped his ticket in half. Said, listen, man, you love Spain so much. Just stay here, man. You don't even bother coming back. He's a waste of time. Partey is a scam. We've polluted him, man. I said this. I remember early on when we signed him, I said he's like a clear water river. And we're going to pollute him with our rubbish. El Neni and Ceballos and Xhaka. These men will ruin him. He's come from Atletico with these quality little technicians around him. You know, Saul and Koke, all these little quality ballers. He's playing with this junk around him, and he's falling down to their level now. Big up Fran said, shocking. It was shocking. Kylie Minogue settings, bro. You know what I mean? Proper Kylie Minogue settings. Danny Ceballos just spinning around, man. Joke of a player. That guy's got no chance at Real Madrid. Absolutely no chance. Big up Ashburton Grove with a super chat. This Arsenal team is poor. What lineup is this? Come on, Arteta. My gal was even questioning the tactics, and she's a Swindon Town fan. Oh, man, this guy's poor. Yo, there you go. Swindon probably ain't picking teams like that. Unbelievable. Partey became a bird shooter under Arteta. Pigeons getting hammered all over the Emirates, man, you know, on the roof, just dropping off the roof every minute. Manager rating, I give him a 0.001. And that's just for arriving at the stadium. Yeah. I think he picked that team out of a hat. They must be just doing a raffle. Number 5, Xhaka. And you're going to play left back. Granite, you're at left back today. Number 17, who's that? Oh, Smith Rowe. Where's he going to play? Oh, you're up front today, Emil. You're up front, you know. He's gone, right, listen, what would Pep do in this situation? Right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to copy whatever Pep does. You ain't Pep, bro. You are not Pep. You're Fraudiola, mate. Not Guardiola. You're Fraudiola. Guy's an absolute joke, bro. I'm telling you, bingo. Them man are playing bingo in the changing rooms to pick the team. He's asking his assistant, right, what do you think? His assistant's got AirPods in, sitting there on his phone, playing DMX Greatest Hits. And this guy's pulling names out of a hat. He might as well be doing that. Unbelievable, bruv. Big up Curtis. Arteta has to start giving some receipts on Martinelli. I can't understand why he's not playing. He ticks everything Arteta asks and can't get a minute. Listen, if I was Martinelli, I'd be on the phone to my agent saying, listen, what's going on? Like, what is going on? Rob said, Big C, Wagwan, Pepe was okay. He was trying, but anyone with eyes could see that he is a winger, not a striker. Playing wide. I mean, it's crazy, bruv. Brett Jeffer said, love your humor, bro. Bro, you got to laugh. If we don't, we're all going to be just angry, you know? His assistant is listening to Statman Dave for help. I'm telling you, bruv. He's listening to something. Martinelli signed a deal and then just getting hustled. Getting benched for the whole game. It don't make sense. Let me give you one little good piece of news. You know, you have to give you something that you can smile about. Fabrizio Romano has announced Dani Ceballos is expected to leave Arsenal at the end of the season. I mean, that should have said the end of this evening, not this season, this evening. The decision has been made weeks ago. The midfielder will come back to Real Madrid after spending the season on loan to Arsenal. Then he'll decide his future. I mean, this just makes it worse for me. Not only is Dani Ceballos saying, I want to play in Spain, which, listen, we don't mind that. The guy's a joke. The club decided weeks ago they don't want to keep him. But our manager picks him in the most important game of the season. And then to repay him, Ceballos gets sent off. Please, like, we're becoming... I don't understand what this football club is doing. It's mad. It's madness. It's absolute madness. Why would you play a guy that is telling you, basically, I don't want to be here? You're saying you don't want him there, yet you're picking him. What are you picking him for? No wonder Zinedine Zidane said, have him for another year. He'll probably give him us for another year. Yeah, just take him. Get him out of my face. Big up Ashburton Grove with the super chat. I genuinely think he picks and chooses. It's madness. It's madness, bro. I've never seen anything like it. How is this guy still the manager of this football club? He's a lunatic. He's an absolute lunatic. It's a pick and mix. He's just putting his hand in and seeing what comes out, and then it's a joke. Oh, my days. Yeah, Buendia, Championship Player of the Season. I think he got like 15 goals. Will Arsenal go for him? I don't know. It'll be interesting. Magic 8 Ball picks the team. Bruv, I'm telling you. This guy, I don't know how he's picking the team. Curtis, put some respect on Arteta's name, you prick. To be fair, did I call him a prick last night? I think I did, to be fair. I think I did. I think I called it him once, so I let you off. But at least Lacazette, I didn't call him a prick this time. Odegaard has appeared very overrated to me. Yeah, a lot of people starting to say now, man. Odegaard, although I think he's a good player, are we capable of getting the best out of him? Does he have enough to his game? I think if he was playing for like Man City where they dominate the ball and there's movement all over the place, I think Odegaard would be fantastic for them. In this Arsenal team, maybe he'll struggle, you know. Maybe he's not the answer, not because he's not a good player, just because of what we've got in our team at the moment. Need a complete team rebuild. It's a toxic, lazy dressing room. I agree. Go for Zaha. You man know I'd still take Zaha. He's a player I've wanted for 2 or 3 years. I think he's got 10, 11 league goals this year playing left wing. If you could get him cheap, I'd still take him. But I don't think a lot of the Arsenal fan base would want Zaha now, to be honest. But I would personally still take him. Felix said, I've never suffered this much in all the years as an Arsenal fan. It's rock bottom right now. Would you take Graham Potter? Not for me. I don't think he's quite good enough. Odegaard just might need a run of games to get back to form and fitness. Freddie Ljungberg was the same. Yeah, maybe he needs game time. All our players would play better at better teams. They'd all try harder and have more motivation. I mean, a lot of people are saying that he's still playing for the manager. Are they still playing for the manager? I'm not seeing like a team that's just working their socks off. They're kind of going through the motions to me. Joshua said Odegaard doesn't look fit. Shouldn't have played yesterday. Would you go for Ben White? He's not bad. Him and Lewis Dunk are decent at Brighton. Joachim Love, nah, man, that little arse sniffer, man. I don't want him anywhere near the Emirates. Imagine meeting him at some event, man. You wouldn't want to shake his hand, would you? You know? Ten Hag signed a new deal this morning at Ajax. So I think Ten Hag ain't going nowhere, man. The players aren't motivated by that novice. No, I don't think they are either, man. I don't think they don't want to. Love is a poo sniffer. Do you know what I mean? You want to play for that guy. Stinky hands, man. Curtis, it is the players, Curtis. Listen, we got to get Kev on here ASAP, man. I need to grill him on what we're seeing. Big up NG said Kroenkes will fire Arteta at the end of the season to distract us, the same reason they signed Pepe. I don't think they will. I don't think they want to spend that money. So, no, I wouldn't get your hopes up. Curtis, would you still take Jose? Probably not now. Probably not. Just because it was Tottenham. If it was anyone else, I would have still had him on the list. He would have definitely still been under consideration. But the Tottenham thing, I think, makes it difficult now. But he's a better manager than Arteta by miles as well. I don't care how much he struggled at Spurs. Curtis, did you see Coutinho is going to Everton for 35 mil? I mean, yeah, the Ancelotti effect. Whether he would go to Everton, I don't know. But listen, I'm reading reports that Ancelotti is trying to get him in there. They've got the money. They can afford the wages. A player like Coutinho ending up at Everton. What's your thoughts about protesting next week? Think it might light a fire up there? I'm hearing the protest will be next Sunday, West Brom at home. I think that, people were going to do it prior to the Villarreal game, but I think everyone's going to wait because, listen, if we lose to Villarreal or go out, I think the next protest will be a lot more, a lot angrier than the last one because we still had that hope of the Europa League. So I think it's next Sunday. That's what I'm hearing. The war chest summer, yeah, we always heard that one, man, from, who was it? John Cross. Oh, Wenger's got a war chest this summer. Big up Babs, man. Wenger, bro. Give it Wenger till the end of the season, man. I would genuinely swap Arteta for Wenger. This is a manager I wanted out for about 5 years. He was better than this fraud, mate. I'm telling you. Big up Amsterdam boy said, so say Arteta manages to still get to the final. What's your thoughts? Final means absolutely nothing to me. He has to win it. Win it only. That is it. And the way Man United are slapping goals in, could we beat United, the form they're in and the form we're in? It would be very difficult. But big up, bro. Appreciate your super chat. Get Graham on your channel. Yeah, I'm aiming to get him on next week. I want to get a few guests on next week. I don't think I've had anyone on this week, to be fair. So we'll get some people on next week, definitely. Who should we get next as manager? I mean, this is the problem. You're short of options. Out of work at the moment, you're only really looking at Allegri, Rafa Benitez, and obviously Joachim Löw, the German manager, will be out of work. But I'm sure there'll be one or two managers that will leave jobs in the summer. It will open up, And listen, if you're ambitious enough, you can pull managers out of jobs if you give them a good enough setup to walk into. But these owners won't. United will slap us. The form they're in, Bruno, Pogba, I wouldn't be optimistic. It could be Baku Part 2, unless these men fix up quick. The final could be very difficult. I'm telling you, really difficult. Wenger in, man. Yo. Unai's better than Arteta. And I actually didn't really want Unai at Arsenal, but he's better than this guy. This guy is insane at the moment, what he's doing. Luis Enrique, I mean, is he the Spanish coach? I'm pretty sure he's the Spanish manager, isn't he? It could be Baku on steroids, bruv. United look like they can score 5 or 6. Maurizio Sarri. See, Sarri's not a bad manager, but for some reason, people just don't rate him. I think he struggled to communicate with the Chelsea players, and I'm hearing he could get the Roma job. Lose to United in the final or just take the L now, it's a lose-lose. Listen, that optimist of a fan just tells me that we'll stumble through against Villarreal and somehow we'll find a way of beating United in the final. But the reality in my head says, even if we get past Villarreal, we'll get slapped up by United in the final. Are you social media boycotting? I'm not. And listen, I'm all for awareness and trying to bring things to light and trying to deal with things. When the ESL came out last week, I heard Boris Johnson. I heard solicitors, lawyers, court cases. They were going to do everything possible to stop that situation occurring. When it comes to racism, oh yeah, let's not tweet for 3 days. That'll hurt them, won't it? Come on, man. We've done this before. We did a 1-day one. Now we're doing a 3-day one. No, take proper action. Governments, create laws that you cannot set up a social media account without identification. Then it's done. If anybody says something, you know who said it, and you can press charges, you can ban them, you can, you know what I'm saying? I don't want a 3 day. Oh, let's not tweet for 3 days. That'll finish it. Come on. UEFA talking about not tweeting for 3 days. They're one of the biggest culprits. They don't want to fix it. They've had tens of opportunities when racism has occurred in football and they haven't dealt with it. But now you want to not tweet for 3 days. Listen, I'm not in this sheep mentality. I'm not a sheep. I don't have to follow people just because everyone's saying it and it looks popular right now. Yeah, let's all boycott social media. Nah, man, I'm not on that sheep mentality, man. Take some proper action, then you'll get my full support. All these gimmicks, I'm not interested, man. I got no time for it. Take proper action. And it's not just racism either. It's all abuse on social media, man. They got to fix up, man. I'm done with these people, man. Yeah, all this half measures, man. It's a joke. It's a joke. So, nah, you will see me active on social media this weekend, man. I ain't going to be taking a 3-day break, you know. Like you said, Ruben, Boris Johnson, man, he took action when the money was on the line. But unfortunately, in abuse and racism and things like that, they make no money by fixing that. All this corruption, man, they're only interested in money, man. So if it doesn't make them money, they're not really interested. So you ain't going to get me following these people, man, by doing it. So nah, I'm not. The club does abuse us as fans, for real. Proper abuses us. Listen, our only hope is Thursday. Can we beat them? Can we beat them? Like I said earlier, this team, for me, beats Villarreal and gets us to the final. But will this manager pick this team? Probably not. Probably not. I would change the whole back four. I thought the back four yesterday was dreadful. Callum Chambers is not a right back. Granit Xhaka is not a left back. Rob Holding should not be starting big games like that. And the fact Rob Holding is captain of Arsenal Football Club, that just tells us where we are as a football club right now, that Bob Boldin is our skipper. I'm not even sure if he's good enough to be at Arsenal. Never mind starting the biggest game of the season and wearing the armband. And Pablo Mari, to me, squad fodder, squad player. It's as simple as that. Can you post that team on Facebook? I'll post it. I'll post it, man. That team beats Villarreal. I'm telling you. Let's make one thing clear. That Villarreal team was nothing special. You know, they were decent. They were better than Slavia Prague. But they're not world beaters. If Man United get to the final and Villarreal knock us out, I think United would beat that Villarreal team 3 or 4-0. I think they'd absolutely batter them. You know, they were nothing special. We made them look better. Oh, bruv, the Newcastle watch-along, we're just going to turn that into a comedy show. That's going to be a Q&A. That's going to be a Q&A. Get in, ask your questions. Like, that game is just a dead rubber, isn't it? Joshua, big up Curtis. What's your thoughts on our players out on loan? I mean, we've got players out on loan that, in my opinion, should be in our squad. You know, yesterday we had to watch Dani Ceballos play centre midfield. Torreira and Guendouzi are better than Dani Ceballos. They're both better than Mohamed El Neni, in my opinion. They keep telling us, you know, even Ainsley, you know, they say he can't play in midfield. He can't be any worse than these guys we're putting in midfield. Joe Willock is the highest scoring Arsenal midfielder this season, and he's on loan at Newcastle. You know, he's on loan at Newcastle. He plays for Arsenal. He looks bang average. He goes to Newcastle and keeps scoring equalisers and winners. You know, a lot of it is Arsenal is the problem. We've got decisions to make on a number of these loan players. Willock, Maitland-Niles, Torreira, Guendouzi. I think Torreira definitely leaves because he just doesn't want to be in England. Balogun travelled to Spain but doesn't get in the squad. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Curtis, disagree with you on Mari. He's slow, but he's a good player. I think he's okay. I don't think he's anything more than okay. I think he's a squad player. I wouldn't mind him playing every so often, but starting him and looking at him as our best centre back, not for me. Not for me. I think he's a decent squad player. I've got no problem with him, playing 10, 15 games a season, but we're starting him and Holding. I mean, that's a poor pairing, in my opinion. It lacks pace. And I thought Pablo Mari was awful last night. I thought he was actually worse than Holding. Sell them all and get some fresh faces in. Thank God LG ain't here. He'd be crucifying Ainsley. Listen, I'm looking at next season, man. We will have Saliba back. If we've got Saliba, Gabriel, Pablo Mari, Mavropanos, I don't know how good he is. Apparently, he's had a good season on loan. But whether he's good enough, I think we need a new centre-back in the summer. I think we need a more experienced centre-back, a proper leader. What's going to happen if Luiz's contract isn't extended? I think they're going to have to go into the market. And as good as David Luiz has been this season, I think it's time to move on from him. I think we need fresh faces in there, man. I know he's a big influence in the dressing room, David Luiz. Apparently he's a very good leader, but I think it's time to move on from him. Finish the season, shake his hand. You've been all right for 8 million, but no, I wouldn't give David Luiz another year. Curtis, Leno and Pepe deserve massive credit, especially Leno. His 3 saves were crucial, especially the one he tipped over the bar from Moreno. 3-0 and we would have been out. There's no point even doing a watch-along next week. It's done. Saliba, yeah, I mean, he's playing well in France, but apparently he was nowhere near good enough to play for us. We have a manager that can't pick a team. We have an owner that can't pick a decent manager. Kroenke out. Kroenke and Arteta are out. Both of them. Jashar, Arteta has chosen Willian and El Neni over Nelson, Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Willock. And think about the wages that those two are getting compared to those 3. If you'd have given those 3 game time this season, maybe one of them would have improved and developed into something. But Willian and El Neni will never get better. They've been shocking. The fans should be consulted on the next manager. No cheap options. Honestly, Curtis, we need better players. I'm tired of using our players as squad fodder on foot SBCs. I'm telling you, I don't even really play FIFA this year, but I'm sure most Arsenal players, when you get them in a pack, you just slap them in an SBC, There aren't many top players at Arsenal anymore. Leno just made 1 good save. He should have done better with the first goal. I haven't really watched it back. I'll have a look. I didn't think he could have really saved that, but I'll check it again. Curtis, thoughts on Coutinho to Everton? I'm not going to lie. I'll be disappointed if that happens, I feel like Arsenal should have been looking at a player like that. He's better than some of these players we've got. I mean, look, there are a lot of reports saying it could happen as well. We'll join Everton this summer for 35 million. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Is there currently a worse manager in the Premier League than Mikel Arteta? There aren't many worse. Honestly, there aren't many worse. But listen, we've got to... English youth is where we need to invest. Yeah, look at players like Bellingham, man. 14 million from Birmingham City. We could have done a lot worse. Bro, it's not the players, it's the coach. And I will finish there because you cannot tell me. Look at the team that I've just put on screen and look at the team that he played yesterday. I know he didn't have the luxury of Kieran Tierney and Aubameyang wasn't fully fit, but he's got to pick a better lineup. But hey, we move on to Sunday and Newcastle. What an exciting game. Relegation threatened Newcastle against mid-table fodder Arsenal. We'll turn it into Q&A. I doubt we'll be that interested in that game. But appreciate you all tuning in. Nearly 1,200 of you in the chat. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're nearly at 25k. I'll be back tomorrow with a Newcastle preview. Well, we'll have a look anyway at the game and try and work out something to do with the game. And we'll look ahead to that game. And then obviously next Thursday, I will have a few people on next week as well. Try and get Kevin Campbell on and Graham and a few others. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. This was Arsenal Therapy, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bless.